Alright guys, welcome back to Youngblood's Rides and Customs. The 65 K20 is in the shop, believe it or not, for the first time. And we're going to be dealing today with doing rockers. They're in pretty bad shape. I might as well just show you, This is the passenger side, and this is the better side. If that tells you anything how this episode's gonna go. But we're gonna see if we can get to it. We're gonna try to get the seat out. We keep finding other things too, but we're gonna figure out what we can do and how we can bring this old truck back to life. My hair's all crazy, and yeah, it's another day. Let's get to it. All right, here's the update. We got the truck in the shop, as you know, and we're starting to look and see all the things that need to be fixed and replaced on the cab, like the rust here that connects the floor to the sidewall where the A-pillar is pretty much rotted off. That is something we have to fix due to the door sagging. So we need to fix that. I start seeing more and more things that are wrong. That's supposed to be there and it's not. So the more things we can try to get done right now, the better off we're going to be. Let's try to keep y'all away from the fan so you can hear me better. The rockers, what's left of the poor rockers, we'll see if we can fix those. I've got a new set of doors, but we have to take all of our mechanisms and everything out of here. Well, maybe not that one. Anyways, well, I've got, we've already know from a previous video that we're going to be replacing this piece, which I've never done before, but it's metal work. It's easy. We got cab corners we're going to have to get done, rockers. I don't think there's too many things on the back of the frame. I would like to replace this with a more up-to-date gooseneck hitch, because I plan on using it, as you know. We got more bad rockers, more bad cab corners, and yeah. This is weight reduction. This is the race model. You reduce the weight and it makes you go faster. No. This is just, yeah, it's bad. It is bad. Well, this may be the better side. I know that the doors have been weight reduced pretty well. Old test teeth, that's cool. Y'all look at that. That's pretty cool. I wonder how long that's been there. We can, I've got another column to change out with if we need to. We're gonna see, I've got another set of these gauges, but there are the needle type, blah, blah, blah. They don't have just dummy lights, because we don't like dummy lights here. I normally put a set of dolphin gauges that you get off of Amazon. I think they're about $300 to $350, but it comes with a plate that goes on here that's billet aluminum, all polished, and it's got all regular gauges. But we're going to try to keep this truck a little bit more original than my normals. So we're going to have to do that. I keep seeing more and more stuff the more I look at this. This is a radio delete plate, but you can see the little hole right there. This dash has been peeled back and had a different radio stuck in it, and a lot of the things that used to happen to these trucks. But we're going to fix that, fix this. In this video, we're mainly going to be focused on rockers and filling in the giant hole. So, I still didn't close all the way. All right. We're gonna get to it. Stay tuned, give it a thumbs up and a like, and we will see you in the rest of the video. This part of the video is going to be the excavation part. Gotta get all this old crap out of here. So you're going to get a good view of this area for a little bit. This is our new rockers. So this is inner and outer. There's a flat piece that goes on the inside, and there is the outside piece that you actually see that has the body roll in it. So we're going to set these over here to the side because we're definitely going to be needing them. Leave it to rednecks. That's a nail. That's another nail that we're holding the weather stripping on at the bottom. Yeah. The things you find in old trucks will surprise you every time. Very, very surprising. I got a set of these at, I think it was Canton, Texas, at the swap meet they had there. Gonna be keeping a hold of these. Gonna show some ways to fix those up, repaint them, make them look new again. Our headlight moldings. I've been gathering up stuff for this truck for almost a year now, maybe about 8 or 9 months. Motor mounts. I'm using the old 1-bolt style because this truck had a 283 in it, so it originally had these. So these should bolt right up with any small block Chevrolet. So good thing to have. Big old bucket of bolts. Ow. Hurst. Four-wheel drive. These are the shifters that were on the truck whenever I got them, but I've got the right shifter knobs now. The ones that would have came on the truck from the factory. You got to get a trash bag this way. Somehow these trash bags always outsmart you. Look at that, I grabbed it by the first, yep. It's gonna be a good day. Here is the massive chain that went to the PTO system on this truck whenever it had the massive winch in the back, the Tulsa winch. I'm probably gonna put that back in the bed for now. Would just be really cool to have that. Doesn't have to be a permanent thing, but that just keeps some history of this truck. Or to get y'all to take a vote on if we're going to leave the big winch in the back of it or not. Mirror. Make sure you don't break those. For some reason. This is another thing that you should probably have at least one other person here, and I don't, so bear with me. This is probably going to be pretty funny. Unless it just works perfectly, then it's funny to me. Probably have to go to the other side. Now that that's out of the way, you can see kind of what we're working with here. Got a little bit of rust repair needs to be done here. Of course, we got all of this, like I showed you. It leads down to stuff that's a lot worse. But got the cab corners back here that need to be replaced. But this will be a good educational video for anybody who has not done metal work. It is not an impossible, scary task. It's just time spent making stuff fit. We're gonna see if we can get a vacuum and clean all of this rat stuff out of here. Try not to breathe that in. It's not good for you. But we'll see if we can get to doing that. Be right back. All right. Now you're sitting in the driver's seat area. I'm gonna see how much of this mess I can get out of here. You probably should be wearing a mask for this because you can get a lot of diseases from rats, obviously. Most of the stuff in this truck is literally just dirt and buildup, not as much rat stuff. So I'm not wearing a mask. It's your choice, but I probably should. I've got a lot of the front brake parts in here that I'm trying to keep up with, because front brake parts for a closed knuckle Dana 44 are not that easy to find. Unless they are that easy and I'm just crazy. But from what I remember, they're not that easy to find because everybody goes to the open knuckle because it's newer and better and blah, 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 blah. But we're just gonna see if we can make it work for now. Later on, we may change it out. Try to get all the big stuff out before you start messing with your little vacuum, because it'll stop up and then you'll be here for 2 hours trying to unstop it, and it's just not fun. So we're going to try to do as much preventative maintenance as we can. All right, and smacked y'all. All right, we'll be right back. We're going to see if we can get a vacuum and get to this. Stay tuned. About to vacuum this whole cab. I'm sure y'all don't want to hear the violence of this vacuum cleaner, so we're probably just going to play you some tunes while I'm doing this. But All right, this is what we got going so far. Everything is fairly clean. We can see all the rust issues we have all over the place. So at least now we can actually see what we're dealing with. It's always better when you know what you have. They always seem to be worse than what you originally think. It seems to happen like that, but sometimes they're better. This one isn't. I mean, it's all right. I've seen worse. I've had a lot of better. I've seen a lot worse. It's in the middle, but we're gonna get to cutting out metal and replacing it with new. See you in the next one. All right, guys, we're gonna start on taking these old rockers off. You can see the seams right here. There is a piece that's off of this one that is notched in and down, probably about that much, probably about a ½ inch worth maybe. So that piece needs to stay, so you need to cut below this and leave that piece and grind the old spot welds off of this so that you have your place to put your new rocker up against. That happens all the way around, all the way down. Right in here, I do not believe there is something that on this piece that goes this way, like right here behind this piece. So I think you can cut straight right here, but I know all the way up and all the way over in this area, this piece actually overlaps a notched in piece on this one. So you got to try to keep that so you can put it back in the same spot. Now up here, we're gonna have a little bit of an issue because I believe this A pillar is pushed in because it is rotted. So we're gonna have to try to start. We got to get this old piece off, which it is overlapped like the one back this way. So what we're gonna do is cut this off, try to overlap it, and we got to make sure this is straight so that the door will close up against it correctly. And this door is also bent. So we're fighting the door, we're fighting the A pillar, and we're fighting the rocker at the moment. But the only thing we can do is start replacing parts, getting new stuff in here that we know is straight. Once we get that done, then we can have something to measure off of. So I'm gonna start taking this rocker off, and then we got to do the same thing on that side. So here we are. Let's get started. All right, guys. This right here is about what your B pillar, which is this whole piece that goes down through here where your door latch is. This is about what it's supposed to look like without, of course, the rust cracks and holes. Your rocker actually sits right in, it's hard to get a good view, right in. All right, this is what I'm trying to show. These right here are the original tacks that held the rocker on. The rocker goes all the way up to this point. Whenever you cut a little bit lower down, right below where the tacks are going to be, and you try to get the largest part out of the way. Then you come back in and use some type of device to get behind it, a hammer and a pair of pliers to try to peel these pieces out, because there's going to be a piece of metal right here that needs to come out. It's not hard. You just need to take your time, make sure you don't cut all the way through this, because this is actually the main structure of your cab. This goes all the way up, goes to where your door latch is, and on the back side back here, it hooks to your cab brace. So try not to cut these off. I have accidentally cut these before, and you have to weld it back in. It's a whole fiasco. I'm gonna fix this little bit of rust right here, and then grind everything clean. I use Gem Rust Killer because it works very well. We'll spray this whole thing down with Gem Rust Killer. I'm gonna fix this little bit of rust crack we got going on here. Probably cut out the metal, put a little bit of new in. But this is what we're doing. We gotta get the rest of this side off in the same kind of way where the other side is. It's the same thing. It's got a brace that comes all the way down. There's a cab brace underneath it that goes out to here. But we need to get all of this old rocker out of the way because it is complete junk. There's nothing salvageable on this. If I can get my camera to focus, it'd be great. All right. But yes, this, no bueno. We're gonna put a brand new rocker in all the way across. I'm probably gonna catch up with y'all right after I fix all this, get all this ground off. We'll get a video on getting this out in just a minute, or get more video of this out. So probably going to have to deaden the sound on all of this because that grinder is very loud and nobody wants to sit here and listen to me beating on metal. All right, guys. We're going to be replacing all of this mess right here. So I'm going to cut this out. I'm going to try to use this edge so you can keep the exact same dimensions and everything that everything's supposed to be. We got to cut out a slot through here. We're going to cut them out. We're going to get a piece of paper, set the paper in there, trace it out, then go over to our bandsaw, cut out the metal, put it in place. It's not hard to do. Everybody can do it. We got this. Let's get started. All right, guys, this is what we got so far. I made this patch, welds all the way across here, all the way down. We got a little bit of a crack right here we need to fill in, and there's a spot right here where my finger is. We need to connect from here to here. Make that connect up. Finish a little patch that went up through here and all the way up to here because it was all rotted, as you know. So we're going to seam seal everything after we get done grinding down these welds and paint it black with some rust proof paint. to try to help it from further on. What we're going to be doing right now is probably making a patch that goes from up here to where the metal is better to this bottom piece, which is the piece you looked at on the outside. Need to make sure everything is out of the way. Fix that patch. Our next patch, you can see where we welded all the way up through here and made this patch. We need to make a patch that goes from right here down to the floor. It's supposed to be a smooth transition from there to there, and it's not a transition at all at the moment. It's not there. We're gonna see if we can get some of this old original, I'm guessing it's original, rubber crap out the way. Make stuff easier. Probably going to paint the whole floor with maybe the same Rust-Oleum paint we used on the frame, because we can lay it on there thick. Make it work. After we get done with that, I've actually ordered the wrong rockers. Imagine that. I ordered 67 to 72 instead of 60 to 66. I can use the same inner rockers, but I have to order a set of 60 to 66 rockers at the moment. That sucks, but we're gonna get back to doing this. I'm probably gonna, I can make a piece that goes from there to there, and that'll at least fix up to here all the way down. There's supposed to be a little kind of U-shaped channel right here that comes up to a peak that connects to the outer rocker. There's a ledge where this actually rides on. See, like that right there? It's just a thin little ledge that this seam glues to all the way around. But we're gonna probably go ahead and make this piece. It goes from there to there. After we finish up this A-pillar, fixing all this, and get this stuff out of the way. So let's get to it. It's probably gonna be loud. Gotta do a lot of hammering because a lot of this stuff is stuck on and it's just not gonna come off without hammering it. So. All right, guys, big update. We've got pieces in. We've got self-tapping screws where our bolt holes are going to be. Shifter lines up nicely. It's where our transfer case shifter is going to come through. I'm going to come around to this side. And you get to see the passenger side. Everything's working over here. This is some of the rust we were looking at before, but if I would not have went ahead and put this piece in here and seen exactly what we need to fix, then we could have replaced, you know, all the way to here when all we need is right there. So always make sure your measurements are correct before you start doing stuff, for the love of God. But this is what we got so far. It's a big step in the right direction. I can 100% say that. This poor truck has never had the right floor in it. It had a hump out of a 67 to 72 screwed to it with a gap about this wide where there was nothing besides a piece of carpet that was glued to there and here. And this looked nothing like this. It was a lot lower hump, completely different shape. So we are making big progress in the right direction. Got all this seam sealed. We got to grind these welds, make all this smooth, because all this is supposed to be painted one color all the way down. Get our rockers in, which fixes most of this. And then we can measure how much we need to cut out. Of course, we're gonna have to go all the way up in here. But this is how you fix the cabs. Of course, you try to start out with a cab with no rust right here. No rust right there saves you more time than you will ever realize. This is a good cab. But East Texas and being a four-wheel drive truck, you're going to have rockers, cab corners, partial bits of the floor. You're just going to have that. Don't be scared of it. You can do it. And this is what we're doing. I think probably on our next episode, we're going to finish up rockers. Got to start doing the A-pillar on that side. But this is what's going on right now. Thank you for watching Youngblood's Rides and Customs. All right, next little section. I removed the gas tank. My video that I took removing it did not work. Very simple to do. These things slide in right here into that hole. To get them out, pinch them together. It's hard to see. All right, to get them out, you pinch them together like that and just pull straight up out of the way. To get the actual gas tank out, you have this one bolt right here. This piece will be like this, hooked into there, wrapped around the gas tank, bolt goes through. It's a 1/2 inch headed bolt. So you'll need a 1/2 inch socket, ratchet, whatever it takes. It is kind of fine threaded and it's long, so it takes a while if you have the original one. But I'm gonna get all of this stuff cleaned up, figure out what other rust problems. We already knew we had a cab corner issue. Figure out what other rust problems we have and may try to beat out some of the dents that are in the back of the cab over here. There's not very many on this side. I think there is something right there. It kind of has a cave in. But remember, we're not going for perfect. We're going for running, driving, having fun. So stay tuned. Alright guys, that pretty much finishes up the driver's side. Got everything from one end to the other, all the rust fixed. So now we're going to go over and start on the passenger side. This door is still hanging very low because of the hinges and the rusted out parts on this door. So that'll have to be something that'll have to be adjusted and fixed. But we got a new rocker all the way down, so we're doing a lot better than previously. But we're gonna go over here now and we're gonna see if we can get this passenger side to resemble the driver's side. I'm on focus. Fix all of this googity boo here, up through here, and that spot right there. And that actually completes the floor of this pickup. The floor that has been rotted out probably since, I think the last sticker on the windshield over there is 1981. So there's no telling when the last time this truck was actually not rotted out. But we're gonna get back to it. This is what we got done so far.
It's all black. And we got Adrian. What's up? So, it's all black. I'm gonna probably get the rubber carpet kit put in the morning and get the cover piece to go right there. And the floor of the interior will be done. All right, this is what we've got done so far, and this will probably be the end of this episode. But the floor is done. The floor is all painted the same black that we painted on the frame right there. So yeah, the floor has all been painted, all been redone. We've got new screws in these, both sides. The floor rubber is all the way up in, but we're gonna have to heat up and push down on some of the rubber to get it to lay flat. But this is what we got so far, which looks 1,000 times better than it did before. We'll go over and look at the other side. The other side has a couple more little dents to it. I say dents, but bubbles in the rubber that couldn't get to lay down as much, like right here. That just needs to go down. I tried a little bit of a heat gun, and it semi-worked, kind of, sort of. But you can see up in there, it all just needs to be pushed down, laid flat. Not too hard to do, but I'm happy about this part. This part turned out good. I had to make my own. This is just literally a piece of this flipped upside down. Looks like that. Looks like that. Had to make one for that because I can't find anybody that actually carries that. This is just a 4-speed boot with a ring around it. But this is what we've got. Looks a whole lot better, and this will be the end of this episode. We'll catch you on the flip side. See you in the next one. As always, thank you for watching Youngbloods Rising Custom. Please subscribe, hit that bell notification, give it a thumbs up. Thank you.